Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things that I see on the internet from time to time, and that is when people who don't play Dead by Daylight or people who are outside of the Dead by Daylight community reacting to the made-up rules and entitlement within the community. There's a couple recent examples that come to mind that I'd like to share with you, and you can let me know down in the comments if they're as entertaining for you as they are for me. Back in June, when Five Nights at Freddy's came to Dead by Daylight, there was obviously a huge wave of new players from the FNAF community, and I saw this post that said, "Had a game of DBD where the survivors got mad at me for making the game longer because I defended the gens instead of just taking their bait and chasing them across the map so they could win. Literally, what the fuck is wrong with this game's player base?" Now, as someone who's part of the Dead by Daylight community and plays Killer and has thousands of hours in the game, this isn't surprising, right? Like, of course, this is something that people would complain about in Dead by Daylight. But when I try to put myself outside of that, like pretend like I'm a brand new player playing the game, and just the whole mindset of, hey, do something really stupid that doesn't make sense in the match so that I can win, so that I can have an advantage. Hey, Killer, don't protect the gens. Take a chase way to the corner at Killer Shack and just let us over here at this 3-gen. Let us do the gens, okay, while you do that, because then we can win. And if you don't do that, you're holding the game hostage. I mean, when you really think about it, that is insane to expect that from the person that you're playing against in a PvP multiplayer game, but it happens all the time in DBD. If you look under that Springtrap post, there are many others sharing very similar experiences. I had the exact same thing happen a couple weeks ago. DBD is the only game I've ever played where you're expected to play suboptimally for the sake of the other team. This is one of the reasons I eventually quit playing Dead by Daylight. There is no right way to play, but there are a million different wrong ways. That is the perfect way to put it. You know that meme where it's like a pen on paper and there's fire, like whenever someone has a super relatable or badass quote, it's like that meme? That's how I feel about that statement, because it's so true. It really doesn't feel like there's a lot of right ways to play, but there's a million ways that you can play that you'll get scrutinized for or criticized for, or be told you're a bad person or you shouldn't play the game or you're toxic or this or that. It's like there's so many countless ways that you can play that are wrong, because there's so many different branches of each term. Like tunneling can mean a million things, camping can be a million things, then there's proxy camping and this and that. It's exhausting. The other example that I wanted to share is also from Twitter, and it's much more recent, like within the last week. Basically, this streamer got tunneled on the event and got really upset about it and went on this huge rant and decided to post that rant on Twitter, and they were like, "I don't give a shit what you think, Killer Mains, but you shouldn't be tunneling in the event," basically. And it blew up, got like over 1 million views because people were quote retweeting it. And the one that really stood out to me was this one. "DBD players are funny as fuck, because what do you mean you guys made up imaginary ass rules that players need to abide by, or they're considered a bad person, when those rules aren't even in the game? Do you guys not see how silly that is?" So once again, we see a non-DBD player reacting to the made-up rules within the Dead by Daylight community and how baffling it is from the outside. And there are multiple posts under this one saying the same thing from people who haven't even played the game. I never played DBD, so I could be wrong, but when people complain about tunneling or camping, it just sounds insane. Like the killer is trying to kill people to win the game, and that's wrong? I know nothing about DBD, so this might sound stupid, but isn't the point of Killer to murder the fuck out of the other team? If someone's an easy target, you kill them as much as possible, right? Ah, if only it were that simple. I do actually want to show you guys a little bit of the video that was posted originally so you can see what these people are reacting to.
They said how'd I tunnel? Okay. Sure. Sure. Here's the thing, it's hard to have fun when you have killers tunneling you, when you're bringing BP offerings to play and stack with everybody. How is that fun when a killer is just tunneling you off hook? How is it fun to get slugged and not get to do anything? How is it fun to not get to touch a gen because the killer is on your ass all the fucking time through the match? How is that fun? Tell us how that's fun. Please, explain to us how that's fucking fun, you dumbass hoe. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all these fucking killers coming in here and acting like, oh, I'm not tunneling. Oh, I'm slugging. Oh, I'm not playing stinky. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Because you are. We're in a fucking event. Play the fucking event respectfully or get the fuck out of this game. Nobody wants you here. I'm so fucking over it. Honestly, I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna post that all over Twitter. I don't give a shit if Killer Means come in here and bitch about it. I fucking play Killer, and I don't play like that. You get more points by playing the fucking game respectfully. Our one teammate got tunneled back to back to back. Like, this is not fun for them. Like, it's not. And it needs to stop. People need to fucking play better.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that we are missing some very important context with this video. They do not post any clips from the match or anything whatsoever. So I did a little bit of research. I went back and watched the match because I'm like, wow, that rant is crazy. They must have really been hard tunneling, playing absolute balls to the wall, sweaty from 5 gens. And that's just not what happened. I went back and watched the exact match. It was against an artist. Now, this artist player tunneled one time. They tunneled their random teammate one time from first hook to second hook, and then never tunneled again throughout the entire match until it was over. Like, no tunneling at all, just that one time. And then that person ended up dying 3 hooks later in the match, but they didn't get tunneled back to back to back until they died. They got tunneled one time. But you would think by this giant rant, you know, being called all those names and being told, get off the game, you shouldn't be allowed to play the game, you're not respectful, all this stuff, you would think, wow, they must have really just, you know, been slugging and tunneling at 5 gens. No, that's not what happened. But even if the killer did play in the way that she's insinuating, why would it matter? Who cares? I mean, it's not like survivors are going out of their way to try to make sure that killers have the best event possible. Like, here, come hook me, killer, come get as many points as you can. No, survivors are usually just filling up their blood canisters, putting it in the gens go super quick, and then they leave. And then sometimes the killers will just get a 4-man out and barely any points. So honestly, it's more efficient from a killer standpoint to just sweat from the get-go, because then you can get more hooks and more points. It's smarter to play that way from a killer standpoint. You can't just expect survivors to play nice to you, right? And most killers, a lot of killers, don't expect that. So survivors shouldn't expect it from the killer either. It's just silly. If both parties agree and decide to farm and get as many points, awesome, but it shouldn't be expected. And this video is a prime example of why the Dead by Daylight community is seen the way that it is, because it's not like people just get kind of mad or get kind of salty after matches and then move on. It's like, it's so serious, and we really need to change the way people play, and we need to freaking post it online and shame people, and you need to get off the game. You are not fun. You are this. You are just it's so personal and serious, like taken to the next level, and people are posting this stuff for engagement and thinking that people are going to agree with them. And it's like, everybody outside of DBD is like, you're fucking crazy for thinking that people are just supposed to bend the knee to you and play exactly the way you want them to play. However, one thing that I do want to say in defense of the person who posted this video is that they have been getting so much hate for being trans and for being a VTuber, and that is just so unrelated to what we're talking about here. We're talking about survivor entitlement. We're talking about play styles in a video game. If you're going to use that as an excuse to be transphobic or hate on somebody because they're a VTuber, then you're a fucking loser, and that was never the point to begin with, so shut the fuck up. Anyways, back to the actual point of this video, talking about made-up rules. There are people who make this argument. Made-up rules? You mean etiquette, basic principles, and norms that are so simple you shouldn't have to write them down as rules? It is people with your mindset that have ruined the gaming space. Selfishness and greed instead of community and fun. The main problem I have with this argument is that fun is subjective, and everybody enjoys the game in different ways, and what you consider to be fun might not be fun for somebody else, and vice versa. So it's best to just worry about your own fun. I've had matches where I've played super sweaty as killer, and people have been mad at me because I played too sweaty. And then I've had matches where I've done like chest protector Bubba, and I'm goofing around playing memes, and I've had people get mad at me for not playing the game right and not, you know, taking chases. It's like, people have fun in different ways and have different expectations. And there's some people that say that Dead by Daylight isn't the only game with made up rules or etiquette, and that's very true. This exists in all kinds of multiplayer games. For example, it exists like in Dark Souls, right? When you're doing invasions, I actually have a video on my second channel where I invaded somebody and he got salty because he was AFK and I didn't let him heal and have a proper duel.
So he's probably this way then. Yep. Poor guy went AFK. Dude fucking set his controller down to take a bite of something, get a bite to eat, and then I come in and just... Small peepee couldn't let me heal and fight like a man. Coward! Snooze, you lose. GG.
See, now that's a great example of another PvP game that has made up rules or etiquette, but what's the difference? The difference is there are not these Twitter videos and campaigns for shaming people for playing certain ways, at least not to the extent of Dead by Daylight, because it happens so much in Dead by Daylight. And again, like that one post said, there's so many wrong ways to play in Dead by Daylight that's why it's so amplified. That's why there's so many people complaining about so many different things. And again, it all comes back to everybody enjoys things differently and sees things differently. And the minute you start complaining about one thing and enforcing an imaginary rule, that's when it all goes to shit, because then you can enforce imaginary rules about everything. Too many wrong ways to play. And I've never seen a game where there are this many wrong ways to play. And yeah, that's kind of the point of this video, and I thought that these were some good examples that show that. And again, the entertainment value of seeing non-DBD players reacting to these imaginary rules, or even just seeing the testimonies of people who tried Dead by Daylight and they were like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that. That shit cracks me up. I'm not going to lie. Let me know what you guys think down below. Would love to hear your thoughts, and let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.